Yo, I'm Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, going to be Pip, come in here and get in your bed, please, darling. Because what you do is you'll get under my camera, sweetheart, in your bed, and you'll knock my camera off over nuts. That's it, right? That's my dog, Pip. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of maintenance on my Wolf generator. Wolf generator, bought for Facebook Marketplace, very cheaply, non-running machine, and I had suspected someone had fiddled with it. I got it all running badly in the first video. Second video, I got it running sweet as a nut. But a generator is no good if it doesn't run. And I have noticed the pull cord on this is a bit dicky, and it also wants a bit of an oil change. So I've been doing two separate videos. One, how to change a pull cord on your generator. They're all pretty much the same. And secondly, how to do an oil service change as well in my second video. So keep an eye out for those. This is a 2,200 watt, preferably good at about 2,000. It will boil a kettle, it will run a set of lights, it will charge a phone. Anything between 2,000 watts, it will run it. And great for the hobbyist, camping, stuff like that. But if you get stuck in the wilderness, or if you have a power outage at home and you just want something just to get you through a couple of days to run a generator on and off, it won't power the entire house, but it will power something. It might just get you out of stuck where maybe you need to have a TV, radio running, or anything like that. It can do all that as well, as long as you have fuel in it, as long as the bloody thing starts. Nothing worse than pulling the pull cord on a generator and the pull cord snaps, right? You've got to know how to fix it. And unless your battery's got charge on your phone, your generator don't run, you can't look up YouTube on how to fix your pull cord on Micks Mowers and Mower Man channel, and therefore you are going to be stuffed. So make sure your battery's charged, you can watch a video on how to do it. And I'll show you right now. Right, here is my Wolf generator. As I say, picked it up really cheap off a Facebook Marketplace, non-running machine. Someone had been fiddling with it. They mucked with the governor, and it was, when I got it running, it revved its absolute head off. But since then, I have looked at it, got it all running in on previous videos, as I say. Go and check them out. But I did notice the pull cord is just a little bit frayed in places where someone's been trying to pull it, and I would say it's past its best for life expectancy. And what you don't want is to have this machine sat underneath your bench, the power goes out, and for day or night you need it, you get it out the shed, you pull the cord, and it snaps. You're done. If you don't know how to fix it, you've got no power. So it could be a life or death situation. So even if you have a generator and it's brand new, but you just want to educate yourself on how to maintain your generator, then this could be the video for you. Right, so it looks to be quite simple. Initially, it looks like an 8 or 10 mil, one or the other, not quite sure yet, I haven't looked at it myself. What do they look like? They look like, we'll go with an 8. I've got an 8 mil socket out my drawer. What's that? That's an 8. 8 mil, little tiny ratchet. And all we're going to do is just going to loosen off the retaining bolts that hold your pull cord mechanism on. Now on yours, there may be 4 or 5 bolts. On mine, there's going to be 3. But it all depends what type of generator you got. And all we're going to do, just going to slowly remove these. So straight away, it tells you if you want to know how to fix a machine, you're going to need at least a 10 mil socket set, you know, in your car, in your shed, something like that. You're going to need 1 or 2 tools. Where's the last one down here? Let's get my big fat head out of the way. As I say, this pull cord will probably last another year, but when you need a generator, the chances are you're going to be starting it 2 or 3 times in a day, refueling it, turning it off to conserve fuel, all that sort of stuff. So you've got to make sure that this pull cord is up to good stretch. Now what you also want to do now is find yourself some decent pull cord, okay? So you can buy this ahead of you. And I've got some 4.5, this is called Rockwood. It's quite a good company. It's got a high nylon concentrate within the pull cord, okay? Now this pull cord looks to be not a very high nylon concentrate. It's quite fluffy. See that? It's quite a fluffy pull cord. And that tells me it's more of a cotton, okay? So first I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a pair of long nose pliers and a screwdriver, and with the pull cord fully retracted out of its housing, okay, I'm going to hold it with my thumb. I'm just going to insert a screwdriver into the hole so that pull cord cannot move any further forwards or back. If it's not, this is spring loaded and it will bite you because it wants to bite back all the time. So open it right all the way, put a screwdriver in, and that just hold that nice and still. Put that down like so. Now you can use a screwdriver, you can use a pair of pliers, you can use whatever you've got to hand. And all we want to do is just remove the knot out of there, and I'm going to cut mine off. Now in this case my pull cord is being changed. In your case the pull cord may have snapped. Now if the pull cord has snapped, then what will happen is you'll have the cord in your hand and then this will be fully unwound. Okay, so we won't be doing anything. So if you just put the pull cord in there, it won't pull up. So I'm going to show you both ways. This is what you get if your pull cord is snapped. That's what you're looking at. Pull cord in the hand. Now you can reuse this if you've got enough. Okay, if it snaps say halfway down, then you have to replace it. But you want at least 2 foot of pull cord, at least 2 foot. Okay, but as I'm going to be replacing mine, I'm going to replace mine with brand new pull cord. It's a little tiny piece of pull cord. There's a clip just here. I want to retain this little tiny metal clip. Okay, keep an eye on that. Put that down. So I'm going to get about 3 feet of pull cord off of a new cord, and all I'm going to do is just going to measure up what I've got existing to what new pull cord I've got, and then I'm going to add about a foot on. Okay, and the reason I'm adding a foot on is because I don't know if this pull cord has snapped before and someone has replaced it with a shorter pull cord, and if they have, then we're not going to be 100% certain that we've got enough pull cord, because what could happen is your pull cord could be too short, you end up pulling it to the point where the pull cord stops and it'd be a dead stop, you end up hurting your shoulder or completely breaking the actual apparatus of the recoil itself. Let me grab my map gas and I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. Right, so I've got my map gas. You guys can use a lighter, open fire, whatever you've got. Just going to burn the end of the pull cord and then just very quickly turn it into a point on both ends, okay? Not just one, we're going to do it on both. Quick little melt. Now you can put that on a manifold of a car to do it, whatever you've got. So you know, if you're in a survival situation, use what you've got to hand for a heat source. Right, now we're going to say that our pull cord has snapped, okay? And to get this pull cord back into a working function, we need to wind it up, okay? And that means we need to start to wind this pull cord assembly up so it gathers tension. And by turning it anti-clockwise, and every time you turn it, you're going to hold it. Turn, hold. Turn, hold. Okay, if you let go of it, it's going to unwind on you. So keep turning, and you want to turn to the point where you believe the tension has reached its maximum. It's about 6 turns, right? But there it's moving, but get to there, and I can feel it's really starting to gather tension now, and you don't want to go past that point, okay? Now I know that my hole for my rope is here, and the bit inside the pull cord is there, so I just want to just back it off a touch, just a touch, to line these 2 holes up, okay? Once I have them lined up, what you can do for added security is just put your screwdriver back in to hold that in place, okay? That way you can now let go of it and muck about with it, okay? Grab your new pull cord, which I've just dropped on the floor, and you can either insert it this way, through there, or insert it this way. I'm going to insert mine this way if I can, line it up through, and it goes all the way in. Poke it all the way through, just so you've got enough rope so you can put the pull cord down, and we're going to tie a knot in that. And now that knot, you need to make sure that knot is secure, okay? So you can pull on that knot as hard as you can, so you're taking all the slippage out of that knot. What I also like to do is get my heat gun, warm that up, and that just sort of blends the knot together so it becomes more solid. You can then pull your pull cord back in, and that little tiny knot just sits in this little tiny groove just here, okay? So just tuck it all away, nice and neat. Let me just tuck the tail away first. Tucks in there, and that's beautiful. That's what we want to see. You can now grab hold of this rope in this hand and hold it tight, don't let go, and then secure your pull cord and remove your screwdriver. Keeping hold of this pull cord tightly, you can now let go of your left hand and just let that pull cord gather back up into its wound position. Now, as I said to you, what I did with mine is I had an extra foot of rope, and as you can see, I've now only got half a foot because somebody, I believe this rope's been cut in the past. That's where we want this rope to be, at about there, okay? So what I'm now going to do is very carefully, I'm going to put my screwdriver back in, because what you don't want is to get this rope sucked up into a pull cord mechanism. I'm going to grab my pull cord handle, yours may differ, push it all the way through, and then I've got this little tiny metal plate here on mine, that goes through there, and then I've got to tie a knot on the other side of that, because that's what stops the pull cord being eaten up. So I'm going to pull mine out slightly, pull it out, I'm going to tie a knot at around about the half a foot mark that we had before. Tie mine off. I'm going to get my heat gun, a little bit of heat on that. I'm then going to situate my metal clamp into position. So yours may differ slightly, and drop mine into there. I'm just going to cut that off, leaving just a little bit of a tail left. And I've got about half a foot of cord left over, and a fully working pull cord with an extra half a foot on. That half a foot, I believe, is where the pull cord has snapped in the past. I'm going to get some penetrating fluid or some oil, because this has never been maintained by the looks of it. Drop a little bit of oil on the nut there, and that oil will just seep through into the working parts of this pull cord. We see the little tiny red, what we call pores. They'll start to operate as you're pulling it. And just by putting a little bit of oil in each side, it will just help everything stay nice and lubricated, because you don't want this to fail. Most people use a generator once there's been a failure, so you don't want this machine failing. Okay, a couple of good pulls, and then we can now fit our pull cord back on to the original holes it had. You can change these around if you want to. I'm going to put mine there. I think it was there beforehand. No, it must have been there. So it's up in the air. So I'm doing an up in the air movement to start it, make it easy for you guys. Some of the Honda ones you can change into different positions. I'm going to grab my little tiny 10mm. Just going to start that one off. 8mm, sorry. Start that little tiny one off, just get it going. If I can get it to start off. Oh, that's got him. I'll grab the other two. So yours might have 3 or 4 on yours. It is what it is. Just locate that one. And we're going to get them all running before we tighten down. I'm trying to find this one without poking my head in right in the camera where you guys are all watching. Down here. Get that one running. And once you've got your bolts all sort of started, you can then look at just snugging down your bolts. So let me get mine snugged down. I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. Okay, so with your pull cord mechanism now all done up, it's been oiled, new pull cord on there. That should last you years and years and years and years and years. The old pull cord was a little bit frayed and not of a very high quality, and that's one thing which should be a deal breaker, a life changer, is if your pull cord is in poor condition when you go to start this machine. When you want it, when you need it the most, your pull cord could fail. So make sure you have a decent pull cord on it and working, and then your generator should, all being well and good, choke on, fuel tap on, choke on, yeah, do that. That's all working. That should now fire up, he says. That fired. Maybe a bit of half choke. And your generator will fire up as and when you need it. So that is what you want to do. Mine starts around about 3rd or 4th pull from cold. Make sure you've got some decent fuel in there. I would recommend running this on Aspen, which has a 5-year shelf life unopened, 2-year shelf life opened. You can fill it up with aspirin fuel, put a dust sheet over it, put it under your bench, forget about it, and it'll run. If you use E5 or E10, even if your machine is stored inside, you still run the risk of your carburetors getting clogged up. You don't get that problem with the aspirin style pre-mixed fuels because it's a non-alkalite, so it doesn't absorb the moisture from the atmosphere. So make sure you use really good high quality fuel because the generator could save your life. So a very quick little video for you on how to change a pull cord on your generator. Hope you did find it informative. If you did, hit the old thumbs up and whack the old bell and subscribe to the old channel. That way you'll tell next time I upload a video. And I look forward to you guys on the next time. Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.